Sunday, man. I know you're nervous for the Rams, but you got to be a little enthusiastic after being there.
Bro, that game atmosphere was ridiculous. The energy, the electricity. That place was rocking. Anyone was there, and a lot of the Super Buck fans were there too. Mean Bug.
Tampa Tones. We are joined by lead goon tonight, host of the Pat and Aaron Show of WDAE, Pat Donovan. And it sounds like Stunna is bumbling a little bit. Going to put him on mute for a second until that gets a little clear. But we're joined by Pat Donovan.
It looks like Stunna's hanging out with Cheech and Chong in a car with the windows up or something over there.
It does look like we got a little...
No, my camera's broke.
Howdy ho, howdy hey, how the hell is everybody? Better than the Bucs, probably, that's for sure, but we'll see how that ends up as we still have a lot of time left in our season here on the Buccateers, covering the Buccaneers, and J-Lo Tampa Tones here. As you know, we're two guys that never give up on our team. We're always mapping a way to victory, as we did last year when the Bucs were down and out. And they overcame a lot. So we're not kicking, we're not punting on the year. So if you're one of those Bucs fans who want to concede to next year, this probably isn't your show. But it is a Saturday showdown weekend of football. Pre-game kickoff show. We got college football, fantasy football, Red Eyes NFL pick'em, breadwinners, Bucs bye week talk, Colts talk, and so much more. Mr. J-Lo, you're live from the Chicago area with me as well, brother. How you doing? Welcome into Chicago yet again, brother.
Thank you. Yeah, happy to be here, man. Happy to talk some Buck football, spend the weekend in wonderful Chicago, Naperville area. It's an awesome place to be. And ready to talk some football, brother. What's going on?
Yeah, we got JC Allen in the house saying sub fellas, and the millions and millions from JC Allen. He's here. He's probably going to bring 1 million viewers with him, so we appreciate that. Sports Illustrated's finest in the house. We got Big Bad Bud. It's a Bucs life, Bud says. It certainly is, Bud. It's always a Bucs life. That's what it feels like right now, J-Lo, as we are going into the bye week. What are some fresh thoughts off the top of your head for this Bucs team? We're going to get into our battle plan here shortly, but just the Bucs on a bye week and a brief statement. What say you? How you feeling?
Much needed. I mean, it was a tough few losses the last 3 or 4 weeks. It's been tough. You know, they're playing close. You know, we're all kind of tired of being in this close and losing. But, you know, it's an adjustment, period. You know, a move was made, which we'll talk about. Todd Bowles just got to, flip the script like he did last year and get it going again. And I think he can.
Yeah, I think he can as well. And we got a little bit of Bucs to talk today. Mainly, we're going to talk about NFL, college football, and the likes of that. J-Lo, we do have a couple of merchandising things to get to from our friends at Duvin Design Co. as well. They came out with their creamsicle collection this year. While I kind of get all that ready and settled, in the meantime, you want to give us your battle plan on how the Bucs could maybe crawl their way back into the playoff picture in the second half of the season?
Well, first and foremost, I'm going straight to the defense. They got to adjust. I think the coverage is still not terrible. I think the injuries are still plaguing some of our players. Between Winfield Jr. with his foot, I think his foot is not all the way healed. You know, foot injuries don't heal overnight. They take time, and when you're constantly running on it, you can tell it's lingering on him, and he's trying to be a trooper and play the best he can. I think, when it comes to adjusting, you got to get pressure on the quarterback. I don't care if you have to send the house at times. You got to stop playing this off coverage. Like playing 10 or 15 yards off coverage, and you got a rookie undrafted free agent on there trying to cover an experienced receiver. I think that's what screwed us last game. But that's one thing on the defense. You got to get pressure on the quarterback. You got to get in his face, make his life a living hell to kind of help your DBs and your secondary. Offense, I feel, you gotta keep running the ball more, but I think you need to get Sean Tucker more involved, create some packages to where you use all three of your running backs. Maybe not at the same time, but you could. Because Rashad White is a receiver type running back, that you could put out there in the slot to kind of help confuse defenses. and then you just hand the ball off to either Tucker or Bucky Irving. And getting Mike back, that's going to be huge. I think it's going to help the pass game a little bit more, kind of build more confidence with Baker throwing the deep ball a little bit more. McMullen's got to get healthy. He needs to get out there and kind of help out with the pass game. But I'm confident that Cohen will be able to get that going. Fits his mistakes what he made. But Bowles is the bigger question. Can he adjust the pass coverage? The pass rush, get after the quarterback. That way we can create turnovers and get off the field instead of doing this long time of possession drive, which tires down our defense.
Yeah, and I agree with you for a lot of things there. Bud Cannibalist says the return of Mike Edwards, and we're going to get into him shortly, so we might as well get into him now. And I'll kind of piggyback Mike Edwards into my battle plan a little bit, J-Lo. So my thought here is this with this Buccaneers team, as we're joined by Christopher Cole. Hey, peeps. The Godfather, James Rubright, says good morning, men. Good morning to Godfather. Awesome time here with the Buccateers, as always. The return of Mike Edwards kind of factors into the revival of the Bucs in the second half. And not exactly his impactful success, not exactly how great he plays, but the fact of the matter is that the Bucs are trying to bring familiar depth back defensively does show that they think they could still compete. Because I know we're not going to be, shelling out too much money for this guy, but the Bucs are a team that love to give their young guys or rookie guys every bite of the apple they could have, every opportunity they could get. And Jason Light proved this year, out of a lot of years, hey, during the mid-season, maybe not spend money here, maybe not spend money there. Then they did bring back Mike Edwards. So to me, if the Bucs were, standing pat and happy about standing pat, I personally don't think they bring in a guy like Mike Edwards. I think they bring Mike Edwards back thinking they could compete, thinking he could be a difference in helping the defense get back on track, and thinking he could be a good voice for the young guys in the locker room, regardless if he plays a lot of snaps or not. The Bucs love their young guys. He could help be a veteran leader in that secondary to help get the guys on track. So with all things said, to me, just the addition of Mike Edwards screams from the front office that they're still trying to compete for the year 2024, J-Lo. And a lot of fans are seemingly jumping off ship when it comes to the Bucs, J-Lo. I know we've had several people get upset at us that we're still trying to get into the playoffs and whatnot. But one of those things, if you're a Bucs fan, you should always want to be playing in the big one. You should always want to be trying to get a chance to play in the playoffs.
Absolutely. I mean, that's what makes it fun, and I still believe this team can do it. You fight for the playoff spot, and then once you get in the playoffs, all bets are off. It doesn't matter what seed you are. Once you're in the playoffs, it's win or go home. And this team knows what the feeling of that when they get to that point. Mike Edwards being back is very huge, I feel. He knows the defense really well. He is one of our best turnover guys at safety, which I think will help develop that. And you kind of help Jordan Whitehead a little bit because he's been struggling. So I think Mike Edwards is huge just because the familiarity and some of his close relationships with some of the players he's played with in the past. I was going to mention that, on adjustment. I think he'll be part of the helping of the adjustment when it comes to certain packages on third down so we can get off the field. So that's a plus. But as far as Bucs fans want to get mad about not talking about playoffs, you know what? There's so much football left. I mean, there's so many things this team can do and adjust. They just got to flip the switch and get it going, and I think they can.
And let's not forget, this team had their hardest part of the schedule. Now they're going into their light part of the schedule. So we'll see where it goes. We'll see if it tracks with them well. Speaking of tracking with them well, Duvin Design Co. did an awesome thing. And finally rewarded from the great guys over at Duvin Design. If you're looking for beach wear, if you're looking for any great summer wear, if you're looking for great winter wear in those warmer states, even just fashionable wear, they got a lot of great stuff over at duvindesign.com, and they came out with a couple of NFL collections this year, J-Lo. They started with their Miami Dolphins collection. Now they expanded into their Buccaneers collection, and it was a tribute to the Bucs creamsicle, their throwback, and a lot of cool merch. They were nice enough to send me a couple of things out of their collection. So just going to go ahead and do a quick unboxing for the fellas. Some really good stuff here. A lot of listeners been asking about it. So here we go. One hat I did get is a very nice one. Buccaneers, Florida. I like the retro look right there. I like the pirate and the palm trees. That's beautiful. You could get this on their website or at the team store if it's not sold out. I know a lot of their stuff's flying off the shelves left and right. So again, this stuff is available at duvindesign.com or on the Buccaneers team store website or at Raymond James Stadium. It's just subject to availability, guys. I'm sorry about that, but there's a hat. I know they came out with 2 hats. That's one of the hats in the collection. Then we got a nice little looking item of collection here coming up. I think this might be some sort of a jacket or pullover, and this thing looks beautiful to me. Retro to the creamsicle look.
Ooh, man, that's hot. Ooh.
That's a nice one. That is a nice
is.
one. Long sleeve button up. Retro creamsicle from Duvin Design. Jayla, what are your thoughts about the hat and this so far?
I mean, so far it's a perfect fit for you up here in the cold weather up here. That's going to be nice on you whenever, you go out here and there. That's nice. And the hat's really hot too, man. So far, so good, man. Duvin Design.
And you can tell it's legit. They got the Duvin Design tag, their own brand tag. They got the NFL.com merchandise apparel tag as well. We got a couple more clothing items from our great friends at Duvin. And I mean, even their bags. I don't know if you could tell, but they got like a shark design on there. Just awesome branding. Awesome branding. Oh, Bud Cannibalist says, love the retro shirt. We're going to bring in shirtless Joey Nips, it seems right now. Joey, I'm going over a couple of the fun things I got from the Duvin Design team right now, my friend. Good stuff we got on our hands. How you doing, pal?
Beautiful day to join you all. It's a great day. It's going to be, we got a lot of good college football games. We're going to work our way into the NFL. And that gear, man, that orange shirt. Who's that little Buccaneer guy?
Look at that one, Joey.
Pretty neat there. Bucko the Bruce. And it says, fire the cannons. And it says at the bottom, Duvin Design Co. in collaboration with the Buccaneers. And then it has little Bucko the Bruce on the back as well. So they're pumping me some nice gear. I gotta appreciate these guys. This is some good stuff.
That's a Tampa shirt when you come down to my neck of the woods, Tone. That's a good shirt to wear down in Tampa.
We got one more thing left, fellas. Before
I'm sure Stunna would love one.
Oh, I don't know if they make it. I will say, not being mean, but I think they go up to only 2XL. So, it's more fleet wear. It's more swift wear. It's like gotta be. Oh my Lord, this is sick.
Ooh, that's banging right there. I like that one.
Buccaneers of Tampa, Florida, and then the back is pretty cool too. It's just the Buccaneers. So thank you very much, Duvin Design Co. You guys way outdid yourself. You guys really hooked it up. I'm very, very grateful of the hookup. You guys are incredible, and you Bucs fans watching could get any of those 4 pieces of clothing or more at the great DuvinDesignCo.com, or you guys could go to Fanatics or NFL Shop and find it there as well. Or if you're local in the Tampa area, you can make yourself over to Raymond James Stadium Pro Shop and get something as well. Thanks again, Duvin. I very much so look forward to wearing my stuff. Before we get to wearing our stuff, going to just go over a couple of things with you guys here on Bucs Bets. We always do Bucs Bets, obviously not a game this week, but there are still some future bets you could place on the Bucs. And obviously we're not going to get into the nitty gritty of the things, but we're going to get into the odds. And if you think odds are even worth a look, worth a smear, worth a glimmer of hope over here for our Bucs Bets segment. Fellas, the Bucs to win the Super Bowl. I know it's a long shot, but if you bet $5, or no, we always do $10, so we'll stick with that. If you bet $10 on the Bucs to win the Super Bowl and they do, you'd win $1,000. Obviously seems high. Jayla, we'll start with you there. Do you think that bet is worth placing?
$10? Sure. Why not? I'll do it. I'm willing to invest $10 for that. I'll definitely do that.
Joey, what say you? $10 to win 1,000 on the Bucs winning the Super
Yeah, I mean,
Bowl.
I'd throw $10. Why not? He
Yeah,
got out last year around the same time. So
for the Bucs to win the NFC, you could bet $10, and that would win you $450 if they do. I'll go that one. I like those odds as well. 10 to win 450. You win a little better bang for your buck with the Super Bowl, obviously, but you still win pretty astronomical money if you bet that. The NFC South, if you put 10 on the Bucs, you'd win $60 if they still win the NFC South. Joey, are you going with that as a possibility?
yeah, I'm doing it. I fuck Atlanta.
J-Lo, is that possible in your opinion?
No, agreed. I would. I think Atlanta's going to falter. Like I said, the Bucs still got a good shot at taking the division, even being swept by Atlanta.
Offensive Rookie of the Year, if you put $10 on Bucky Irving, you would win $1,500. But Jaden Daniels pretty much has that award in the bag, so I'm going to steer clear of that one. I love Bucky and whatnot, but something wild has to happen to Jaden Daniels for him to not win that sort of thing, Player of the Year wise. And then pretty much other than that, that's just that for Bucs future bets. You got NFC South, you got a couple awards, but let's be real here. If you put $10 on Baker Mayfield to win the MVP, you'd win $1,000. But again, it's just so gutted in the way unless Lamar falters, unless Josh Allen falters, unless Patrick Mahomes heavily falters. Really no way Baker Mayfield has a chance to surpass or eclipse these guys by any means of the imagination. So that was our short but sweet Bucs bet segment. And before we get to our For the Shoe talk and all the other football talk, Christopher Cole says 3 safety packages coming soon. We could very well see that between Whitehead, Winfield, between Izzy could play some safety. Now you're adding Edwards into the mix. You know, you just keep pumping and pumping and pumping him in, and you might be able to see some of those 3 safety sets soon. Speaking of sets soon, the Colts are setting soon back onto Anthony Richardson. Our guy AR-15 is back into the fold for the Indianapolis Colts. And before I get into my takes, I want to give the floor to the Colts guy himself on the circle of the situation. Joey, what say you on how this Colts team seems to be rallying around Indianapolis? And I'm sure that one singing dude's happy, the For the Shoe guy, because he only has one jersey, it seems. He's still repping the Richardson jersey through it all. So shout out to Seth the Flow Erks for getting his guy back under center.
Yeah, I'm glad I could bring my autographed jersey back out. Shout out Tones for the help on that one with AR. But listen, I mean, you know, until we start winning some more games, we shall see. But this was the right move in all facets of the game. I'm glad Richardson was able to get sometimes you need that mental break. He's 22 years old, the youngest quarterback in the National Football League. Shane Steichen, a young offensive mind, said, you know what, look, you're not doing things wrong, but your play on the field isn't up to par. And, you know, take a couple weeks, learn behind the scenes, get in the building early, be the first one in, last one out, type things like that maybe wasn't always fully happening. So this team is juiced up. They're not saying this isn't a move to be done. No, we got the New York Jets tomorrow. We're coming to fucking beat their ass in New York. And we're planning on doing exactly this. All the players rally behind, whether it's Quentin Nelson, Kenny Moore, DeForest Buckner, all guys who have been pros in this league. They absolutely can't wait for Richardson to come back because it was never a question. This dude is a phenomenal human being. He has a phenomenal arm strength. If we can get accuracy and if we can get a little more consistency behind the scenes, this dude's going to be a baller. And yes, Bud Cannabis, Josh Downs is becoming the number one, especially with Pittman being on and off the field with the back injury. Josh Downs gets first downs. But to sum up the story, there's going to be a lot of negativity from the outside media, the people that aren't really close, that see us at 4-6, and that's that. But simply, Joe Flacco, if he was getting the job done, he would be getting the job done, but he wasn't. And Richardson now, a bunch of good things coming out on him. I'm happy where we stand, and it juiced me up because I wasn't ready to watch a 40-year-old Flacco versus a 40-year-old Rodgers tomorrow. I'm juiced up to get a guy that can be the guy for the future.
And that's exactly why if I was the Colts and brought in Joe Flacco, to me, if you were going to go that route, you start Flacco from game 1 of the season. You let Richardson fully recover from his injury. You let him get back to 100% health. And then Flacco looks like this week 2, week 3. You bring in Richardson, fresh start there. He doesn't get the trauma of benching. But, hey, who knows? Maybe him getting demoralized and bench will actually uplift his spirits and propel him. Time will tell with the whole situation. But if I was the Colts, I think they could have handled it a little better in the fact of the matter where, hey, if you even thought benching Richardson was an option along the way, why not start him on the bench at the beginning of the year while he recovers from his injuries? But at the end of the day, the Colts are proving that they're trying to win football games this season by going back to Richardson, which makes me happy for Colts fans. Again, you never want to pack in a year too early.
No.
And the fact of the matter, well, we have some babies who think otherwise, but fact of the matter is, Anthony Richardson gives this Colts chance a way better chance to win football games right now. Nothing against Joe Flacco. He's a great backup quarterback, but that's what he's meant to be at this point in his career. Richardson's a phenomenal dual threat athlete, and even when he's not performing with his arm, he could still perform with his legs, and that's what's scary for defenses out there. J-Lo, give us your thoughts here before we move on to the grand scheme of football for the weekend.
No, I'm excited to see Richardson back at quarterback. I agree with Joey. I feel like, sometimes benching could be a hit or miss. I feel that's probably what he needed, just to kind of sit back and kind of learn from an expert from Joe Flacco. Even though Flacco hasn't played too well, but at least now that Richardson sat for a couple of weeks, maybe that might help motivate the kid to get going. And I think he can. When healthy, this dude can make a lot of things happen. He can run, scramble for a bunch of yards. He'll give you the best chance to win. But it just takes good coaching. And I think Coach Steichen will be able to get it going for him. Plus, Houston's kind of faltering a little bit. They lost Did, so I feel like they're not the same team they were at the beginning of the season.
We're in similar spots if you look at the Colts.
Yeah, we need to win football games, boys.
In terms of pursuing division, and that's pretty much that in terms of Anthony Richardson and returning. To me, it just increases our chances of winning football games in must-win situations. And he's probably my favorite non-Bucs player in the NFL, so I'm excited to.
And with your guys' Bucs bye week, you guys could put your full energy with me tomorrow at 12 o'clock.
I need to see him use them wisely first. I need to see the Colts coach.
Well, I got Jayla. All right, take a seat. Whatever.
I'll be rooting for the Colts, but I'm saying I need to.
I'm saying cheering.
They need to treat my guy right, and we'll see. But speaking of we'll see, Joey, Colts score prediction and player of the game prediction.
Yes, Colts are going to win this game 27-21. Colts, and the player of the game will be Josh Downs. I'm going to do it for Bud Cannibalists.
Just what a year underrated career to this point so far, I would say. But, that's when you're Bucs or Colts and you're not in one of the top 10 markets, sadly, the media doesn't know how to act half the time. But J-Lo, what say you on the score? We got 27-21 Josh Downs. And Pops texted in about Duvin design. Nice text. He says, well worth the wait on the Duvin. It's like creamsicle Christmas. It sure was, man. That stuff, awesome stuff. Once again, shout out to Duvin Design. Thank you very much, gentlemen, ladies, and the rest of the team over there. J-Lo, thoughts on the Colts score and player of the game?
So I got one better because I think the Jets is just fucking their ass cheeks, man. I think Colts dominate them. I think Colts, give me Colts 33, Jets 13. That's how bad I think they're going to.
Holy shit.
I would love that shit.
And the MVP of the game is AR-15, baby. I think he's going to absolutely go out there. Remember, Kyler Murray went
there might be pants flying tomorrow.
No, listen. Kyler Murray went off on the Jets last week, and they didn't know how to handle him. So guess what? AR, he's coming in. He's going to improve, and I think Colts are going to just stomp on him in the Jets' house because the Jets are just an ass organization right now.
Hey, you better get that ass loose. We're going to be celebrating.
Oh, yeah.
What is this, a P. Diddy party? My Lord.
Hey, like LeBron said, ain't no party like a Diddy party.
No
Oh,
P. Diddy talk
oh.
here. That guy's a jackass. son
No
of a
comment.
bitch. You know,
I don't got kids.
talk about a loot. Yeah, but you're lucky if you're acknowledging P. Diddy, then that's something your kids probably want to. But let's get back on track here. We're talking about a guy who's going to be spending many years behind bars or probably get wiped out by political people just like Epstein did. But regardless, I'll go with my final score of the Colts game as we're getting back on track here on the Buccateers. Saturday Showdown Weekend of Football Kickoff Show, not Weekend of Hip Hop Kickoff Show. But I'm going Jesus, this is getting bad. I'm going 24-21. I think the Colts win this game. Rodgers and co are in a must-win, but man, Aaron Rodgers playing football can be compared to Mike Tyson boxing. Both look old out there. Both look nimble. Both of their legs are
you guys
buckling.
find a stream to work?
Yeah, I mean, our Netflix worked, but we had to keep exiting and re-entering.
What a shit show. What a shit.
Yeah, it was like a Chicago civilian in and out of the jail cells. You know, they're in, they're out, they're in, they're out. That's how our Netflix stream was. It was in, it was out, in, out. Just ridiculous banter over there. But
at least we don't see no cheats.
Odd Cannibalist says 24-17. Jonathan Taylor over 100 yards. Reel it back, boys, Mr. H. I agree. We got your retirement party tonight, and we got to be tame for that. So we're going to be celebrating it. You'll meet J-Lo at the retirement party tonight as well. So that'll be a good time. Our guy, Mr. H, retires. Mr. H says Colts win 28-21. Agree with Richardson. Winner. So there you go with Puckhead. Richardson is his player of the game. Pops goes Colts 27-17. So there we go. 28-21 Puckhead with AR, and I'll go with Richardson as my player of the game as well. CT ESPN streamed it live. Antonio Brown, I guess, streamed the. Oh, that's kind of fun. If that's a joke, that's hilarious. But if not, regardless, that's cool if he did though, because Netflix was garbage. Netflix was really, really bad.
I just bought it yesterday too. What a fucking joke. $15. I bought the up subscription.
You'll need it for wrestling anyways, at least. You're going to get your socks loose over that. But speaking of loose, we got a lot of college football to talk coming up, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, God, we got a shoe out now. What the hell is going on here?
You started it.
Always something going on here.
You know me, I can't sit still for like 3 fucking seconds or minutes, let alone anything else.
Yeah, well, we'll see what the hell's happening here. But we got a lot of football to talk about.
Is Florida playing today?
Yeah, we'll get into them. But speaking of cool stuff, we got Northwestern Ohio State at Wrigley Field today, fellas. That's kind of cool. Always a treat. And, that female match was top tier. It was a hell of a lot better than Tyson Paul, that's for sure.
It's at Wrigley Field today. I saw no marketing for that.
Yeah, it's at Wrigley, which actually helps out a lot because Northwestern's undergoing stadium renovations this year, and they're playing at some hellhole, track and running field, and they got like 500 people who are able to go to games. So this is nice for them. But fellas, we're going to do our college football spread 'em as we got college football right around the corner. 32 minutes till kickoff approximately. So it's the time of the week where we go through all the big games on the slate and give our thoughts, predictions on the spreads, and so much more. And then we save our big 3 for last. Florida, Notre Dame, Penn State. Noon kickoff, one of the biggest games of the day. Utah, 13.5-point underdogs heading into Colorado's house. Joey, what say you? Utah plus 13.5 at Prime and Company.
You know what? You have to give credit where credit is due. This Colorado team is trying to make the playoff. Yes, the playoff this year with how they've been rolling with Sanders and Hunter. I don't always like what they do behind the scenes, but they're winning games. Give me Colorado. Utah came off a tough home loss. They're going to get blown out today. Colorado, big.
Yeah, and if you could put in the chat like you normally do, we're picking college. That would be great. Not sure why that didn't happen, but we'll talk about that. J-Lo, Clemson, minus 12.5 at Pittsburgh. Now I'm getting interrupted. There we go. Clemson, minus 12.5 at Pittsburgh, noon Eastern kickoff. What say you, J-Lo?
No, I say Clemson with the spread.
Clemson minus the 12.5. Plain and simple. There we go. Texas minus 13.5 at Arkansas. I think Texas really proves a point today. I think that they outbend Arkansas. Give me Texas minus the 13.5 in a heartbeat in that one. Joey, we're going to go Tulane minus 8.5 at Navy. That one's at 12 o'clock Eastern, noon kickoff.
In the Navy. Give me the Navy in a blowout for them as well. Tulane's going home, losing by double digits.
J-Lo, UL Monroe plus 24.5 at Hugh Freeze and Auburn and Company. That game's 12:45 Eastern.
Tough one. I say Auburn. I say Auburn gets the dub today on that one.
2 o'clock Eastern. Give me Alabama minus 41.5. This is what's hilarious about Alabama. They're playing Mercer today. Yeah, right. Grow up, Bama. You got to stop doing this stuff. You really do. You really got to stop being pathetic enough to play a freaking team like Mercer, who, you know, they'd probably lose to a local high school affiliate. The worst games you should play is Alabama's, of Penn State's, as Notre Dame's of the world are bowl-eligible teams still, like Penn State this year. Their worst two opponents were Bowling Green and Kent State. Yes, they're not great teams, but they're still both in the MAC and bowl-eligible. You have Alabama playing Mercer. Grow up, Bama. But with that being said, give me Bama by 41.5 because Mercer is just not even deserving of being at Alabama. That's just pathetic.
Hey, they're 9-1, baby.
Yeah, and who are they? College of DuPage, Lakeland High School, Vermont International. We'll see. Joey, the Fighting Anthony Gators are plus 12.5 at Jacksonville State today. And Rich Rodriguez is Jacksonville State's head coach. That game's at 2 Eastern.
Yeah, I can't look at the top 25 board for this matchup clearly. So based off of what we got, give me Anthony Gator. Why not?
If you're only looking at the top 25, that's a problem because college football goes a lot deeper than that, baby. J-Lo, Syracuse at Cal, 3 o'clock Eastern. Cal is minus 10.
I'll take Cal. Cal spread.
We're going to save a couple of our games. South Florida at Charlotte, 3:30. Give me Charlotte. South Florida and Coach Golish have been terrible. Bud says he's got Cincinnati and Navy to cover, so there's some of Bud's picks
the Navy
of the day as well. Joey, 3:30 Eastern. Louisville minus 20.5 at Stanford.
You know, I take Stanford and the points at home.
J-Lo, 3:30 Eastern. Boston College plus 18 on the road at playoff-bound SMU.
Oh, SMU. SMU is going to cover the spread. They'll pound them.
3:30 Eastern. Oregon State minus 3 at Air Force. Give me Oregon State minus the 3 over there. Joey, 4 o'clock. Baylor minus 1.5 at Pat McAfee's West Virginia.
Give me McAfee's boys in West Virginia where the mountains are high and everybody else is too. Give me the Mountaineers.
J-Lo, we got Missouri at South Carolina, 4:15 p.m. Eastern. South Carolina is minus 13-point home favorites. Missouri's kind of fallen.
Well, the falling ain't happening no more. I see Missouri on the road beating South Carolina in their house.
6 o'clock Eastern. Rutgers plus 4.5 on the road at Maryland. Give me Rutgers. They're fighting again. They had a nice week last week. It seems, Joey, 7 o'clock Eastern. Arizona State plus 7.5 on the road at Kansas State.
Man, I mean, I like the way Kansas State's quarterback has been playing. Not a lot of INTs and quite a bit of touchdowns and yards. So I'm going to take Kansas State on their home field. I know 7.5's a lot, but that's where people are going to get trapped. Take Kansas State.
J-Lo, Heisman hopeful, and to me the clear-cut Heisman choice. Sean Genty, Boise State and Company are at San Jose State. Boise State is minus 14. That game's at 7 o'clock Eastern.
Boise State, man, that kid's on fire, and I agree. Genty is, to me, the Heisman favorite. I think Boise State wins this one.
He's averaging over 3 touchdowns a game. He's on pace for well over 2,000 rushing yards. I mean, 3 touchdowns a game. It's crazy stuff.
Does.
7:30 Eastern, Oregon minus 13.5 at Wisconsin. Give me Wisconsin to cover that one. I think Wisconsin is going to lose by 10 to 13, that range, but I think they play good enough to cover. Joey, matchup of the night potentially lands on your watch. 7:30 Eastern, Tennessee plus 9.5 at the Bulldogs of Georgia.
Oh man, 9 is so many damn points, and Tennessee quarterback is back. I'm not a big Beck fan. This is a heart bet, but I'm doing it anyways. Give me Tennessee and all 9 of those points. I think we're going to need them all, but go Volunteers.
9.5. That's a big hook, that half. Don't forget that. That could be pivotal there in that one. J-Lo, New Mexico State plus 39.5 at Texas A&M. That game's at 7:45 Eastern. A&M needs a big win if they want any chance at the playoff.
No, I like A&M home big. You know, I think they can't. I think they'll win. Tough loss not too long ago, but give me A&M at home.
8 o'clock, Cincy plus 7.5 on the road at Iowa State. Give me Cincy and the points. Iowa State's been derailing the past couple of weeks. Joey, 8 o'clock Eastern, Wake Forest getting an 11 on the road at North Carolina.
North Carolina, even though when it gets double digits, a little scared, but give me North Carolina.
J-Lo, Kansas plus 2.5 at undefeated at BYU. Playoff hopeful BYU, 10:15 Eastern.
BYU's going to smoke them. Definitely BYU on that one.
And then I'll end it. San Diego State getting 21 points at 10:30 on the road at UNLV. Give me San Diego State and the big points. Now we'll get to our 3 games of the day featuring Notre Dame, Penn State, and Florida, and we'll all go around and predict what we think will happen. Joey, Florida, LSU, 3:30 Eastern. Florida only getting 3.5 points in this one. What say you?
Yeah, and that's tough because LSU just came off the hard loss. Fuck them, though. Give me the Gator chomp all day with the points. Go Gators, go.
J-Lo, do you endorse the message that Joey just displayed?
No, I agree with them 100%. LSU, they are false. And let's remember, rivalry's rivalry, and you're coming into the swamp with DJ Lagway, who is playing today because he was expected to play. That was reported the other day. With him making a huge difference, give me Florida big at home, beating LSU. You know, they're due for a loss. You know, we haven't beaten LSU in a long time, and tonight's the night. Go Gators.
I love the Gators. Everything they bring to the table, they fight. Right when you think Napier is down and out, he finds a way to pull a switch-a-madoo and overtake. But tonight, Brian Kelly sticks a dagger into the chest of Billy Napier and says, I could beat the bad teams. I just can't beat the good teams. Florida right now is not a good team. LSU wins this one by double digits. I'm sorry, J-Lo. I had your back last week, and that was a pathetic display by the Gators. Hard for me to endorse them again this week. 3:30 Eastern time. Purdue plus 29.5 at home against Penn State. Joey, that number seems a little large.
Yeah, it does, but Purdue is cheeks amongst all cheeks, like Mike Tyson's cheeks bad. So give me Penn State.
J-Lo, are you saying Purdue is as bad as Mike Tyson's booty on the Netflix live stream last night?
Literally, that's how bad they are, cheeks. Yeah, no chance in hell. Penn State dominates this game.
And I think Penn State wins big because Penn State knows next week they still have Maryland to end the year, but next week's really big. They go to Minnesota. They know they're going to have to pull that game out any way possible, get an ugly win, little win, whatever. Purdue, they're going to be all hands on deck. I think they're gearing up for a big game today. Give me Penn State winning by 35 plus. Purdue has been that bad. And then, ladies and gentlemen, we do get into the Notre Dame game here as well. As I pull it, I'm sorry, I got to sneeze. Sorry about that. But Notre Dame minus 22. Notre Dame minus 22 against Virginia. That game as well. We're all at 3:30 Eastern today, guys. Joey, start us off. Notre Dame minus 22.
Yeah.
Wait, but before that, Mr. H says last week it was socks and this week's it's cheeks.
Stay tuned for next week.
It's going to be socks and cheeks next week.
Notre Dame already had their one bad loss of the year against a team you just saw, Northern Illinois. So I think they keep rolling, and Notre Dame takes care of Virginia and obliterates them.
Yeah, I was at MACtion, Northern, Akron. That game was wild. You had fans and Akron players going at it. You had rain coming down. It was epic, but I always love me some MACtion. J-Lo, Notre Dame minus 22 points against Virginia.
Notre Dame should dominate. I think they're finally in gear to make a playoff run, and I'm a big fan of Riley Leonard. I like that kid.
Give me Notre Dame, Virginia scrubs or cheeks, and that'll pretty much conclude that for our college football spread 'em. A lot of good games today, or at least a lot of intriguing games, I should say, right? Like, to me, even Oregon at Wisconsin's intriguing a little bit. Penn State and Notre Dame games are more intriguing by the week because they need to win these games for the playoffs. And Mr. H is always all in on Nebraska. He thinks take the points with Nebraska. Yeah, there we go. Speaking of, it's MASH report time, where we each go around and answer a hard-hitting question about fantasy football for those people that might be deciding between a couple of players at certain positions. So we're going to lead off with J-Lo on the MASH report. J-Lo, pick 2 out of the following full-point PPR wide receivers: Khalil Shakir, Cortland Sutton, Keenan Allen, Ricky Pearsall.
You said 2 out of the 4?
Yep.
Give me my boy Ricky Pearsall. I'll take him. And then I'll take Cortland Sutton.
Joey, give me 2 out of these 4 running backs. Half-point PPR: Ramondre Stevenson, Jonathan Taylor, Josh Jacobs, Tony Pollard, and Rico Dowdle.
Wow, that's a good backfield for whoever has that going for him.
Yeah, I'm 3-7 in this league. Could you believe it?
I'll take Taylor and Stevenson, the first 2 you mentioned.
And my QBs are Baker Mayfield and Anthony Richardson. And, I have the 3rd most points scored in the league, and I'm 3-7, but that's neither.
Oh, cry later.
I know. Well, that's what I'm doing right now. When I get a hold of you at Mr. H's party, we're going to send you through a sock. That's for damn sure.
Slap tickle.
You and J-Lo might be slap tickling somewhere. I'll decide out of these wide receivers: Devontae Adams, Jerry Jeudy, Cooper Kupp, Jacoby Myers, and Khalil Shakir, and Xavier Worthy. Give me Cooper Kupp, obviously. I think he needs to be played. Give me Devontae Adams, although he hasn't been the same. He is showing signs of life of breaking out, although he is a little under the weather. He's gotten 24 targets combined the past 2 weeks, Devontae Adams. And then give me Jerry Jeudy. I think him and, Jameis continue to get back on track. What is the mood music in the background? We're putting you in the mood, Mr. H, for your retirement party, my friend. So you want us to fucking change it? We'll change it. We'll change it for you. Does that make you happy? There
to make you a man?
Yeah. Does that make you happy? There you go. Not sure what you said, but before we get to breadwinners and Red Eyes Pick'em for the NFL, we will get to our upcoming Buccateers schedule for this week. We will be back and running on Tuesday and Saturday. Tuesday and Saturday we'll be back and running this week. Out of the bye week, we're going to look to hammer home some good shows before the Bucs resume play. But now, guys, it's time for our NFL Red Eyes Pick'em. And if you are watching the Buccateers, our Weekend of Football kickoff show, please hit that like, subscribe, and notification bell on YouTube so you'll be notified whenever we're ready to rock and roll on Saturdays and Tuesdays and so much beyond all that. There, guys, like people say, it's going to be a long damn day on Sunday. And when we get into Red Eyes Pick'em, We're going to be fighting on Sunday, that's for sure. Red Eyes pick 'em in honor of the great Red Eyes, one of the great listeners here of the Buccateers who left us about a month ago to date. And in honor, we do our NFL picks for the great Red Eyes. And Joey, you're starting with the great game tomorrow, 1 o'clock Eastern. No spreads involved in the NFL, so give us your chomp at Baltimore-Pittsburgh.
Baltimore, they're just the better team, more talent.
That'll be, and Pittsburgh has to have a quick turnaround. They play Thursday night against Cleveland, so that'll be sitting in the back of Pittsburgh's head as well. J-Lo, you got the Vikings at Titans. That one's 1 o'clock Eastern, and something tells me the Titans might be a little bit bigger of fighters in that game than people expect.
No, Mayo boy. I think Minnesota takes that game.
All right, well, we'll see tomorrow. Maybe we'll throw some money on that. Rams at Patriots. Give me the Rams. I think Rams need a big win to keep their playoff hopes alive. I know the Patriots looked good last week with Drake May, but the Bears' offense has been sputtering like a flat tire lately, so they kind of had a beat up on Chicago. Give me the Rams there in that one. Joey, Browns at Saints in the Jameis Winston revenge game tomorrow.
Ooh, PU, this game stinks. Give me the Browns.
Beggars can't be choosers. J-Lo, Packers, Bears, 1 o'clock. It's on.
I say Packers because the Bears are bearing their way down to another crappy season. Packers.
We do have a Bucs question, and we will answer because it's from the great, beautiful Emily, as we love our lady listeners, and she's a great one indeed. The wonderful, beautiful Emily says, "Hi, everyone. Hi, guys. Been super busy with work. Miss the pods. What are the odds we come out swinging after the bye and win every damn game that comes our way?" I give us a 30% chance to win out, but I give us a 90% chance to only drop one game. J-Lo, what say you?
No, I agree. I think they'll end up taking 6 out of 7 games. I think I can definitely see them drop one. I think
I think the drop will either be at Chargers or at Cowboys, even though it's Cooper Rush. I think one of those two games, being back-to-back on the road, will be the game.
No, I agree. I think those are the two games to watch out for. And to me, I say it's the Chargers, just because, record-wise and how they're playing. That's the only thing I can say. But I think we're much better than the other teams on the rest of our schedule, even with the injuries we have going on.
Joey, how many games do you see the Bucs dropping in the second half of their season?
We're 4-6. They go 9-8.
So you think they go drop 2 games? That would probably leave them right on the outside of the playoffs if they go 9-8. So let's hope they go 10-7 or better. We could only hope as fans. Joey, you get Jaguars at Lions, the battle of the cats. You get the Jags at the Lions, 1 o'clock each.
Detroit by about 3 or 4 touchdowns.
3 or 4 touchdowns. Wow, that is a big one. And the thing is, the Bucs have been playing good. They've been playing some of the best teams in the league, just, can't squeak out the close ones. J-Lo, Raiders, Dolphins. That game's 1 o'clock Eastern as well.
I said both teams are not good, in my opinion, but I say Dolphins over the Raiders because, Gardner Minshew can't get it done. Sorry on Perico. Not happening.
Falcons at Broncos, 4:05 Eastern. Give me the Broncos at home in that one. Sean Payton does a nice job. And really, we get a treat full of afternoon games. All are pretty solid. Our guy, Negretti, says, Joey, looking fresh. What a classy man. Wow, what a guy. Joey has multiple sock victims tonight, it seems.
Watch out. Shoes are flipping.
Joey, 4:05 Eastern. Seahawks at 49ers.
49ers, because the Seahawks are phonies. They're frauds. They've been doing weird shit with their roster this week.
Yeah, their center just retired out of thin air. They released their leading linebacker. It was really weird stuff. J-Lo, game of the day, 4:25 Eastern. Chiefs, Bills, what say you?
Oof. Damn. You know what? Because the Chiefs have been lucky, win the last couple of games, give me the Bills to finally give the Chiefs their first loss of the season. I think it's time to end this undefeated bullshit, and I think the Bills are going to be the team to do it tomorrow.
Bengals are at Chargers, Sunday Night Football. Chargers are at home, 8:20 Eastern. Give me the Bungles of Cincinnati in this one. I love the way that Burrow's been playing this year. I think the Chargers, don't get me wrong, impressive what they're doing, but they're kind of benefiting off a weaker schedule over there. So give me the Bengals. I think if their defense plays any hope of imagination against a weak Chargers offense, they may skirt by. Joey, take us home. Texans, Cowboys.
Just as Cody Rhodes comes on the screen for game day pick'em, I am taking the Cowboys to get an upset win here. Houston has looked rough. It's in Jerry World. We'll see more action in that game. The Tyson Paul fight. Give me the Cowboys.
And we will move on to our bread winners, ladies and gentlemen. We had a rough week last week. We went 0-3. Joey had the Rams. I had Iowa State. J-Lo had some Little League basketball game. I don't know where the hell he picked that one out of his wild.
It was close.
Yeah, basketball this time of year is interesting avenue, but neither near or there. Money is money. Money is money. Money is money, and that's why we could pick any damn game, whether it is college basketball or it might be Euro tennis, whatever we feel will win the bread. We provide it for you guys. So we're 26-18 on the year now, guys, and we are still plus $138 on the year. So even with an 0-3 week last week, we still went 20. We're still 26-18 plus $138 on the season, which is pretty damn good in total with the winless week last week. And J-Lo, we're going to start with you here today, my friend. Let's see your breadwinner today, or not today. It could be from today through Monday. It could be Monday Night Football. It could be a basketball game on Sunday. It could be anything. But J-Lo, throw it at us.
I say give me Florida going +3 and upsetting LSU at home.
So you got Florida plus 3.5 is yours. Wow, I like that one. Showing faith. Oh, Bud says Joey looks like Tom Cruise stunt double for Risky Business. Oh, that is OG. Yeah, I love that extra small leather coat. You gotta love it. Joey, breadwinner on your behalf, my friend. J-Lo goes with the Florida Gators as his.
Funny, I guess it's home weekend because Colts are my lock +4.
What? I don't like this, guys. I don't like this. We're I love being on our team, but hey, we're just doubling down. I'll pick the Bucs. Not losing this weekend is my breadwinners. So the Bucs not losing plus 2,000. No, I'm kidding. Obviously on a bye week. So
whoop.
So far we got the Gators. So far we got the Colts. Oh boy, fellas. Oh boy. This is you know what? Give me 49ers Dolphins moneyline parlay. That'll pay, if you put 20 on it, that pays $15. 49ers Dolphins moneyline parlay. I think both of these teams need it. 49ers at home against Seattle, as Joey alluded to earlier. Seattle in disarray. And then Miami at home against the Raiders. The Raiders don't even know who their damn quarterback is. Minshew's been terrible this year, and the Dolphins need it to stay alive. J-Lo, give us your final word for the day, my friend.
Final word is I'm here. I'm ready to spend some fun times with some two great brothers of mine and the family today. And just going to enjoy not watching the Bucs play today because, or tomorrow, I'm sorry.
Joey, breadwinner, what say your final word? Say you, Joey, as we go to celebrate.
Yeah, I'm all bricked up. Cody Rhodes is on the screen, so I'm hooting and hollering. My shoes are off.
Oh boy! Godfather says Bears with the upset tomorrow by 7. So hey, wow, there we go. Godfather. Oh, we got shoes off, so I'll make it quick. Maction was always fun. I had a great time at Maction, and Mr. H, a great listener of ours. Looking forward to your great retirement party later. We love you, brother. We're honored to be able to celebrate
for the shoe
retirement later. Joey doesn't even know what way his towel's going. So fire the damn cannons. Go Colts, go Bucs, go Notre Dame, go Penn State. Go Seth the Irk Flow or whatever. Wait, Godfather says, Joey, put your shoes on. I could smell you from here. Puckhead says, "Throw the shoes at me." Wow.
Yeah, shoe party.
And then the great Bud Cannibal says, "Always a fun time, fellas." It sure is, Bud. We thank you for joining. As Rochelle's joining as well. Olives Nani on Facebook is tuned in. But guys, it's been a blessing. We love each and every one of you all, from Rochelle to Bud to the Godfather to Mr. H and all in between. We'll see you guys later on the Buccateers. Peace, peace, peace. It's always a damn pleasure. We love everybody. Peace out.
Game on Sunday, man. I know you're nervous for the Rams, but you got to be a little enthusiastic after being there.
Bro, that game atmosphere was ridiculous. The energy, the electricity. That place was rocking. Anyone was there, and a lot of the Super Bucs fans were there too. The Bucs.
Tampa Tones. We are joined by Lead Goon tonight, host of the Pat and Aaron Show of WDAE, Pat Donovan. And it sounds like Stunna is bumbling a little bit. Going to put him on mute for a second until that gets a little cleared. But we're joined by Pat
It looks like
Donovan.
Stunna's hanging out with Cheech and Chong in a car with the windows up or something over there.
It does look like we got a little.
No, my